Why do we feel empty inside, even when everything seems perfect on the outside? Why does loneliness knock on our heart like a quiet stranger, even when we are surrounded by people, by noise, by family, by work, by endless distractions? What is this strange silence that scares us, and yet never leaves us alone? Let us look deeply, not with the eyes of thought, but with the light of awareness. In our daily life, we often try to fill ourselves with things, with relationships, with achievements, with social media, with television, with religion, with beliefs, with plans for the future, with the past memories. But if all these things could truly satisfy, why does that hollowness return the moment we are alone? Why does it return at night, when all noise fades? When you sit quietly in your room, and there is no one to impress, no one to talk to, why does a subtle sadness rise within? Is it because we are truly alone? Or is it because we are disconnected from ourselves? You can be in a crowd of 1,000 people and still feel isolated, and you can sit quietly under a tree without another human in sight, and yet feel a deep sense of wholeness. So, loneliness is not about others. It is about the relationship you have with your own self. But have we ever been taught to meet ourselves? From childhood, we were taught how to behave, how to win, how to succeed, how to pray, how to be accepted. But nobody told us how to simply be. We were never told how to be still and look within. We were never told that looking at a tree in silence, or watching our own thoughts, or sitting without a goal, can be more fulfilling than chasing the world. And now, as adults, we are full of outer experiences, but empty of inner understanding. We know how to use the phone, how to make money, how to flirt, how to achieve, but we don't know who we are without all that. A student once asked, "Why do I feel like nothing is enough? Even when I get what I want, I still feel incomplete." The teacher replied, "Because you never asked if the one who is wanting has ever been seen clearly. You are trying to satisfy an image of yourself, not your real self." This is the root of our emptiness. We are living through ideas about who we should be. We wear masks and then forget our real face. We think we are the body, the mind, the role. But when the role ends, when the boyfriend leaves, when the job fails, when the friend ignores us, suddenly the mask falls off. And in that nakedness, we feel terrified. That terror is what we call loneliness. But what if instead of escaping it, we sat with it gently? What if we stopped calling it bad and started listening to it like a soft whisper from within? Suppose you are a man working 9 to 5, married, with 2 kids. You have a car, a house, weekend plans. But one evening, while driving home, a wave of sadness comes over you. You switch on the radio, call someone, or scroll your phone. But it doesn't go away. Why does this happen? You did everything society told you to. You are a successful man, yet you feel hollow. Maybe it is because your life was built around expectations, not around your own truth. Maybe you never asked, "Do I love what I do? Do I love the silence within me, or do I fear it?" Maybe you never questioned whether success defined by others is real success. We were trained to follow, not to question. So now, we feel like strangers in our own hearts. Another example. Imagine a young woman, deeply in love. Her whole world is her partner. She shares every thought, every fear, every dream. And one day, the relationship ends. She is shattered. But more than losing the person, what she fears is facing herself again. The silence becomes unbearable. She says, "I feel empty." But the truth is, she was always using the relationship to avoid looking at herself. The other had become a mirror where she forgot her own reflection. Now that the mirror is gone, she has no idea who she is. That emptiness is not bad. That emptiness is the beginning of something sacred, if she doesn't escape from it. If she can sit with her pain, watch her emotions, and listen to her heart without judgment, something magical can happen. A new kind of strength, not borrowed from others, not built on dreams, something real, something silent, and something whole. So again, we must ask, what is this emptiness we fear? Is it really emptiness? Or is it space? When we remove all the noise, all the distractions, what remains is not nothingness, it is presence. But we have become so addicted to movement, to noise, to being someone, that stillness feels like death. We call it loneliness. But it is not loneliness. It is life calling us back. It is existence asking us to return, not to our past, not to our beliefs, but to the now, the presence, the watcher behind the mind. We are afraid of this because we don't know how to look without escaping. We are taught to fill, not to feel, to react, not to observe, to achieve, not to be. And now, look at society. We live in crowded cities, yet people feel more isolated than ever. We have friends online, but hearts offline. We have smiles in selfies, but tears in bed. We live in a time where even children feel lonely. Why? Because even love has become performance. Even conversations are no longer deep. Everyone wants to be heard, but no one wants to listen. Everyone wants attention, but few give affection. In such a world, the soul naturally feels dry. But the solution is not to run to more people. The solution is to return to yourself, not the self created by thought, but the one that remains when thought is quiet. Do you notice how, when you sit by the sea, or in a forest, or watch the stars at night, something inside feels peaceful, even if no one is there? That is your natural state. That is your being. But we have covered it with layers of thought, comparison, ambition, and identity. And so, we lost the song of the heart. That song cannot be heard in noise. It can only be heard in silence. This is why we feel empty, not because something is missing, but because we are overfull with nonsense. We are so full of shoulds, beliefs, ideas, fears, that the real essence has no space to flow. And ironically, when we finally sit down and do nothing, all this inner clutter comes up, and we mistake it for loneliness. So, how do we understand this? First, don't try to escape. The moment you feel lonely, stop. Don't call a friend. Don't scroll. Just sit, breathe, and ask, who is lonely? Is it the real me, or the me I have created with thought? Watch the feelings without judging. Let the sadness rise like a wave and fall. Don't touch it. Don't name it. Just witness. This watching, this awareness, slowly reveals a deeper truth, that you are not the sadness, not the loneliness, not the fear. You are the sky in which all these clouds come and go. And the sky is never lonely. It holds the sun, the moon, the storms, and the silence. You are that vast. Let us take one more real example. Suppose you are a college student who feels like no one understands you. You attend classes, meet friends, go to parties, but still feel disconnected. You may even ask, what is the point of all this? This is not depression, it is sensitivity. And that sensitivity, if you listen to it carefully, can become your doorway to truth. Don't suppress it. Don't distract. Ask yourself gently, what am I truly longing for? Maybe you are longing for meaning, for depth, for love that is not based on conditions. And that longing is not weakness. It is your inner intelligence calling you home. But to answer that call, you must go alone. Not lonely, but alone. This aloneness is not isolation. It is inner richness. It is the moment when you stop leaning on the world and start dancing with your own soul. It is like a tree that no longer begs for rain, but digs deeper roots into the earth and finds its own water. You too must find that source within. And it is there. It has always been there. You were just looking in the wrong direction. In the end, emptiness is not your enemy. It is your teacher. Loneliness is not your curse. It is your invitation. It is asking you to return to silence, to stillness, to awareness. It is not something to fix. It is something to feel. And when you feel it deeply, without fear, it transforms. It becomes a doorway to a space where nothing is missing, because you are no longer chasing. You are home, not in the world, not in others, but in yourself. And that self is not a thought, not a name, not a role. It is the watcher, the pure space of presence. In that space, even if the whole world leaves you, you will not be alone, because you have met yourself. And that meeting is the beginning of true love.